The champagne flute shattered in my hand, a jagged symphony of glass slicing through the wedding's laughter. Blood trickled down my palm, warm and accusing, as I stood frozen at the edge of the ballroom. My sister's wedding was a kaleidoscope of white roses and clinking glasses, but I was a ghost relegated to a corner table for one. The seating chart had been a cool afterthought. Evelyn, no +1, a silent scream that my life was unraveling. My fiancé, Caleb, hadn't just left me at the altar of this celebration. He'd vanished from my calls, my texts, my life, for 3 days. And now, a stranger's voice cut through the haze. Act like you're with me. I turned, heart hammering, to find a man with storm-gray eyes and a suit that didn't quite fit the gala polish. His smile was a lifeline, but his gaze held a flicker of something sharper. Pity, maybe, or curiosity. You looked like you needed saving, he said, voice low, like he was sharing a secret. I nodded, too raw to speak, and let him guide me to the dance floor. His hand on my waist was steady, but my mind churned with questions I couldn't voice. Where is Caleb? Why hasn't he called? The stranger, Elliot, he said, spun me gently, his touch grounding me as the room blurred into a carousel of satin dresses and forced smiles. The reception hall was a cathedral of opulence, chandeliers dripping light like molten gold, the air thick with jasmine and champagne. My sister, radiant in her gown, floated past, oblivious to my exile. I'd spent months helping her plan this day, yet here I was, a pariah in my own family. Elliot's voice pulled me back. You're not invisible, you know, he said, his breath warm against my ear. But someone's trying to make you feel that way. His words landed like a stone in my gut. I wanted to laugh it off, to say Caleb was just busy, but the lie stuck in my throat. 3 days of silence wasn't busy. It was a betrayal I couldn't yet name. We danced, and I clung to the rhythm like a drowning woman to a raft. My phone, tucked in my clutch, buzzed faintly, but I ignored it. Caleb's absence was a wound I couldn't probe in public. Instead, I let Elliot's questions unravel me. Who leaves someone like you alone at a wedding? He asked, his tone teasing but edged with something darker. I deflected, mumbling about work stress, but his eyes narrowed, seeing through me. Work doesn't make you check your phone every 5 seconds, he said. My cheeks burned. He was right. I was a mess of hope and dread, waiting for a text that might never come. The night wore on, and the clues piled up like ashes. A cousin's pitying glance. A bridesmaid's whispered, I thought Caleb was coming. Each word was a pinprick, fraying the fragile thread of my denial. Elliot stayed close, his presence a shield against the room's judgment. But when the band paused and my sister took the MIC to thank her loyal loved ones, her eyes skipped over me. The omission stung, but it was a figure slipping out the side door that stopped my breath. Caleb. His silhouette was unmistakable. Broad shoulders, the familiar tilt of his head. He was here. But he wasn't alone. I broke from Elliot's grasp, my heels clicking like gunshots on the marble floor. The hallway beyond the ballroom was dim, smelling of wax and secrets. Caleb stood at the far end, his arm around a woman whose laugh I knew too well. Lila, my sister's best friend. My stomach lurched. Caleb. My voice was a stranger's, thin and trembling. He toned, his face a mask of guilt and defiance. Evie, I didn't want you to see this, he said, as if that excused the knife he plunged into my chest. Lila's eyes darted away, her hand still on his arm, claiming him. The world tilted. My blood roared in my ears, drowning out his excuses. It just happened. We didn't plan it. I'm sorry. Sorry? The word was ash. I wanted to scream, to claw at the lie of our 3-year engagement, but my voice broke into a whisper. You were my home. Caleb flinched, but Lila's grip tightened, her silence louder than any confession. Elliot appeared behind me, his hand light on my shoulder. You don't have to do this alone, he murmured, but I barely heard him. The betrayal was a living thing, clawing at my ribs, demanding I choose, collapse or fight. I chose neither. I turned and walked back to the ballroom, my heart a shattered mosaic. The music swelled, oblivious to my ruin. Elliot followed, his presence a quiet anchor, but it was a note slipped into my hand by a waiter that undid me. Scrawled in Caleb's handwriting, I'll always love you, but I'm not enough for you. The words burned, A final twist of the blade. He'd known I'd be here, alone, and still chose her. As the room spun and my sister's laughter echoed, I realized the stranger beside me wasn't the only one who'd seen my invisibility. Caleb had, too, and he'd used it to break me.